So let's dive into this Hindi folktale that really makes you wonder what's in control of our lives. Is it all about hard work and being a good person? Or is it something else? The wild, unpredictable, and sometimes totally unfair hand of fate? Let's get into it. All right, picture this, a world that is just frozen solid. The cold isn't just a weather report, it's a character in this story. It's a force that literally decides who lives and who dies. And right in the middle of it all, we meet a poor laborer named Surjan, and his whole life feels like it's trapped in ice. Surjan's living in this hut that's basically falling apart. Wind blows right through the walls, ice is literally dripping from the ceiling, and he can't even work because the fields are buried in snow. He's pretty much just given up, totally convinced that his destiny is as frozen and unchangeable as the world outside his door. But then, the village elder, a guy named Ramdas, shows up and just completely challenges that whole idea. He basically tells Surjan, hey, your dad thought the exact same way, and look where it got you. So Ramdas throws out this totally different philosophy. Destiny isn't something that just happens to you, it's something you build with your own two hands, no matter how tough things get. Now, Surjan's not so sure about all this, but Ramdas lays out this deal that, honestly, is too good to pass up. He says, you fix up your house, start earning some money, and I promise you, I will find you a wife. And just like that, boom, for the first time, Surjan has a real reason to fight. The idea of a future, of having a family, that's the one thing strong enough to make him question everything he believed about fate. And you know what? It actually starts to work, like really work. For months, Surjan just grinds it out, working through those freezing mornings and icy winds. He earns enough to fix his rundown house, strengthen the walls, patch up the roof. He's got firewood, he's got food. He is literally proving to himself one day at a time that hard work can change things. Okay, so Surjan's ready for marriage, and he goes back to Ramdas. But this is where the story gets a little murky. Ramdas lays out his plan for finding a bride, and it's got nothing to do with all the honest work Surjan's been doing. Nope, his strategy is all about stretching the truth and, well, telling some straight-up lies. His advice is pretty cynical. Sometimes you gotta bend the rules to get what you want. So before long, Ramdas brings over a potential father-in-law, a man named Shamdas, to meet Surjan. And yet, he doesn't just stretch the truth a little bit. He goes all in, weaving this incredible story about Surjan's life. And the lie he tells is so specific, so detailed. Ramdas paints this picture of a rich, successful guy. But the real linchpin of this whole lie is that he says Surjan has 100 biga of land under Batadari. It's a very specific farming term, and he's counting on the fact that Shamdas, who's not a farmer, will have no idea what it really means. Okay, so this is the real kicker. This whole story hinges on this one single word. Batadari does not mean you own the land. It means you're a sharecropper. You work someone else's land for a piece of the harvest. It's not secure at all. So to an outsider, 100 biga of land sounds amazing, like you're set for life. But to anyone who knows farming, it tells a very, very different story. And just like that, the whole thing falls apart. It's almost like a domino effect. It all starts with one simple question from Shandas's wife. See, she grew up on a farm, and she knows exactly what Batadari means. So she tells her husband, ask to see the papers for the land. The moment he does, Ramdas starts sweating, he has to admit the truth, and bam, Shamdas is furious and calls the whole thing off. The entire plan completely destroyed by one person who knew what to ask. I mean, for Sargent, this is just devastating, absolutely soul-crushing. All that hard work, everything he built, gone. And it wasn't even his lie. His reputation in the village is shot. Nobody will hire him. His newfound belief and hard work is completely shattered. He falls right back into that old despair and decides there's nothing left for him there. He's just going to leave for the city. The thing is, he has no idea how to get there. He ends up wandering into this deep, frozen forest. And as night falls, he's completely lost. And this trek into the forest, it's more than just getting lost. It's like he's giving up completely. He's not fighting anymore. He's just letting the cold and his fate take over. This is rock bottom. Right when he's about to just lie down and let go, he spots an old woman, Malti. He follows her to a little hut, begging for shelter. But she is not friendly. I mean, she's harsh, she's suspicious, tells him to get lost. She basically says she thinks he's a thief and couldn't care less if he freezes to death or gets eaten by a tiger. So Surjan thinks, well, that's it, I'm done for. But then something shifts. The old woman goes inside, talks to her daughter, and then comes back out and tells him to come in. And this is a huge turning point. It's not just her being kind out of the blue. See, Malti has a daughter, Kaveri, who she wants to see married. And in this random, freezing stranger, she sees a potential opportunity. Okay, hold on, because this is where the story completely flips on its head. This timeline tells you everything. Malti isn't her real name. She's Gita, the wife of a rich landowner, a zamindar. She's been hiding in this forest with her daughter for 19 years to escape his other wife, who wanted them dead. But just recently, the villain got caught, and now her daughter, Kavari, is the sole heir to a massive fortune. So the next morning, Surgeon's ready to leave, but Kavari stops him. And what she says next changes everything. She says she had a dream they got married, so now she considers him her husband. Her mother, Gita, is ecstatic. She reveals their true identities, tells him about the huge inheritance, and just like that, Surgeon, the guy who was about to freeze to death, is now married to an incredibly wealthy heiress. And Gita, her mom, uses her own life story to spell it out for Surgeon. She basically explains that there are two kinds of people in the world: people who are loyal and will sacrifice for others, like she did, and people who are just blinded by greed and will destroy everything to get what they want, like the second wife. It's a hard-earned lesson from her 19 years in hiding. You know, this chart really shows you the absolute roller coaster this guy has been on. He started at the very bottom, in total poverty. With his own two hands, he pulled himself up to a much better place. But then, someone else's lie sent him crashing down, even lower than where he started. And then, out of nowhere, just by pure random chance, he ends up with more wealth than he could have ever imagined. His own effort got him somewhere, but it was fate that delivered the jackpot. So in the end, the story doesn't really hand you a neat little answer, does it? Sordin tried to control his destiny through hard work, and for a while, it seemed to be working. Then a lie he had no part in nearly destroyed him. But what ultimately defined his future wasn't his work or the lie, but a totally random encounter in a forest. It really leaves you wondering, did he earn this in some cosmic way because of his good character? Or was he just unbelievably lucky to be in the right place at the right time?